San Diego Dynasty took 5th at the last event in Chicago and did not play on Sunday in the semifinals for the first time this season. But they won the second event in Maryland, so they are still a big favorite at the West Coast Open. Dynasty displays mastery at every level of the game, and for good reason. They are the most successful paintball team of this or any era. The team is stacked with superstars and led by one of the best coaches in the game, Rusty Glaze. Oliver Lang and Brandon Short are the highest ranked players on the team, and they have been on a tear this year. Short has been setting the tempo for the team early on in the prelims, and Lang's timing and aggressive tendencies are serving him as well now as in any time during his record-setting career. Yosh Rao and Glenn Takamoto will be looking for kills off the break. Kyle Spica and Alex Frazier will be attacking on the snake side, with Blake Yarber pushing up the D side. Add in Tyler Harmon and one of the best all-around players ever, Ryan Greenspan, and you have a lineup which could win the West Coast Open. It may have taken Houston Heat a few tournaments to get their new lineup rolling, but they are back in prime form, which they proved during their second-place finish at the last event in Chicago. Ryan Moorhead was on fire coming back from his partially torn Achilles tendon, and he played the snake as well as anyone on any team. Expect the same at this event, though we could see him on the D side where he spent much of his long career. Heat is stacked with stars, and they are one of the deepest teams in the PSP. Greg Sewers is a potent weapon on the D side, and he's one of the highest-ranked players in the league. San Monville and young John Woodley have put up good numbers this season as well. Heat exists to win tournaments, and since they had a tough start at the beginning of the season, look for the hungriest Houston Heat that we've seen all year at this event. Thomas Taylor, Ronnie Dizon, and Chad Boucher have all had good games this year, and Tim Montresor and Nick Sloviak have proven very capable in the backfield over their long careers. If he can summon the game they brought last event, then they will be a favorite here at the West Coast Open.
All right, so welcome back. 2014 PSP West Coast Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez and Steve Rabikoff. I could not be more excited for this game. Houston Heat, San Diego Dynasty about to throw down in a relegation match. And listening to those scouting reports, when we were talking about before this tournament, either one of these teams could have won this event if they had actually played up to their potential, but they did not. They had terrible prelims, and they forced them into this position right now. So who is going to redeem themselves here on Sunday? We're going to find out.
Oh, and there goes Blake Yarber down right away. He comes running off the field. Big weapon for them. Oliver Lang and Yosh Rao. Yosh Rao takes a bounce coming out to the Dorito side tower. Woodley up the middle now on the right side of the A. Looking to lock off that side of the field and go to work. Houston Heat still with 4 bodies left alive. And, oh, Chad George gets shot in a heads-up gun battle with Alex Ginobili. Frazier. So Alex Frazier gonna have this whole snake side now to himself with Brandon Short.
That was a huge kill right there for Alex Frazier to even up the body count at 4. So Brandon Short, Oliver Lang, Yosh Rao, and Alex Frazier still left alive here for Dynasty, and it's Brandon Short and Alex Frazier on the snake side. No one on the snake side right now for Houston Heat, but they have better field position in the center.
They have better field position, but look for Alex Frazier to try to make his way to that snake side. If he does, that'll put a lot of problems for Houston Heat on that Dorito side.
Yeah, just one body keeping him in that temple, patiently waiting. But he should be able to make a move here pretty quick.
And by him getting there, that'll put a lot of problems for John Woodley there. He's gonna have to really stay tight on the right side of that A.
Oh, and there goes Tim Montresor getting shot out of the backfield on that snake side can. So now nobody on the snake side of the field for Houston Heat. And Dynasty regaining the body advantage. Oliver Lang bumps out to the Dorito 1. John Woodley getting shot out of that A. So, oh, Greg Sewers loses a gun battle to Alex Frazier now, who had all the freedom to stand up, and just Ryan Moorhead left.
So here comes San Diego Dynasty. 4 bodies left alive for them. The only body they lost was Blake Yarber off the break and shot by Tim Montresor, but Oliver Lang, Brandon Short, Yosh Rao, and Frazier combining for the kills. So good, solid teamwork by San Diego Dynasty to secure themselves a point here and get up some good momentum to begin this game. San Diego Dynasty does not, neither one of these teams want to find themselves in the, they don't want to find themselves in this spot to begin with, but they definitely don't want to, neither one of these teams, we're going to see a vicious, vicious fight right here. So the game matchup here on paper, very close, man. Even though Houston Heat had a little stumbles in the beginning of the year, and Dynasty won a tournament in the beginning of their second event. Dynasty stumbled at the last event. It's almost too close to call. Any team could win this one on paper. You know, Houston Heat, some solid veterans. It's a superstar team that Randy Smith has put together. And then Dynasty, the most successful team ever to play the game. 18-13 to go. Let's see who Dynasty sends out. You know, both these teams have a deep roster, so that's another one of those questions, is that heading into this oh so important relegation match, are they going to run a starting 5? Are they going to switch up bodies? Obviously, Coach Chosen for Heat and Coach Glaze for Dynasty, they have a lot of faith in their bench. And then the question is, which team is deeper? I think they're about equal as far as depth is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question here that both these teams have star players from top to bottom. So, I mean, this is this is definitely going to be one of those matches about who wants it more.
This could be like you said, a finals match this afternoon.
Yeah, Dynasty won the second event, and Houston Heat took second at the last event. But it doesn't matter. The names on the back mean nothing. It's all about what the names on the back actually do at the event. Oh, another body dropping early. It's Ryan Moorhead this time, and also Chad George. So now Dynasty has a 2-body advantage, 5 players alive for them. They're in the pocket. They did not go wide here in this point. Went heavy guns, and it paid dividends.
And Houston Heat's lost 3 players.
John Woodley dying out of his spot, so now it's just Sewers and Monville, and it's going to be tough. You do not want to give Dynasty a 3-body advantage. And then here comes, body dropping Tyler Harmon, and a major penalty. Major penalty on Tyler Harmon, and that immediately evens up the body count.
They need to hit that flag immediately, hit that horn.
Yeah, Houston Heat needs to concede the point, which they do. So just as we look over at the red flag flying in the air for San Diego Dynasty, and another minor, as Tyler Harmon left the field and then comes back on the field to argue his case. So there's going to be 2 penalties on San Diego Dynasty, kind of losing their composure there. Tyler Harmon losing his composure, and gets a major, and then goes, gets sent off the field, and then comes back on the field. As you can see there, there's Glenn Takamoto and Alex Frazier, John at the refs. So Dynasty is up by 2 right here, and they made quick work again from Houston Heat. As Houston Heat, the last 2 players, just when we thought the body count was going to be evened up, it was going to be 2-on-2. No, the last 2 players shot guys for San Diego Dynasty to have this 2-point lead that they have. But Tyler Harmon, man, looks like that might be a major and a minor on the same guy.
Yeah, they're going to be starting with 3. You can hear there in Dynasty's pit. They're saying starting with 3, start with 3. And, you know, just as Dynasty comes out and gets a 2-point lead, Houston Heat now going to have an opportunity in front of them to get back in this ball game. And with that penalty, Tyler Harmon's going to have to start in the box. Let's see how this goes down over here. They haven't actually put the minor up on the board yet. So until you see that 1 minute go up there, gotta wonder if they decide to
back it off.
Stick that flag back in their pocket.
Might have given them a warning instead. We'll see. Every now and then you'll see that. You see a flag go, and it's almost like getting pulled over for speeding. You're like, oh God, I just got a ticket. Oh, you're gonna let me off with a warning? Oh, awesome.
I think this is the only sport where they do that. Hey, you get a flag in football.
It doesn't happen very often, though. I don't really see flags go that don't get put up in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It's a lower percentage.
Yep, and there it is.
Yeah.
Minors on the board.
Yeah,
so they're starting with 3. So Houston Heat gets a gift from Dynasty, so they're down 2-0. Let's see what they can do. If they can get some points here.
I wonder what that minor was for.
Well,
I saw
Tyler
a ref go in, and I saw some jawing going back and forth with the player and the ref.
It's either talking, but I think what happened was that Tyler got the penalty. He got sent off. He went into the pits, and then he came back on the field before the point was over to argue his case, and that is going to give you a pit penalty.
So he got a double. You know what? I'm going for 2.
Well, let's see if Tyler can redeem himself here, as 2 players are stuck in a box. So
I thought I was the only one to ever get a penalty while in the penalty box.
That happened to you too?
No, that happened to you and Chris, I think.
Yeah, but Chris is proud of it.
Yeah, it's true.
True.
So here we go. Under 10 to go before the start of this point. Dynasty playing with 3. Houston Heat at full strength. So can Houston Heat take advantage of this situation that Dynasty has left on a silver platter for them? Brandon Short trying to get out wide with Yosh Rao and Glenn Takamoto, and it looks like Brandon Short got shot off the break, so that's going to make a really quick point here, which means a minor will come off. And hunting in that center, that's the safe way to go, to funnel the bodies through the center. Oh, I think Woodley just got shot, though. So Glenn Takamoto just shoots Woodley. So the most important thing for Dynasty is suck as much time off as possible off the clock. I think Yosh just got taken out, so Glenn's going to try to scurry out here to the stand-up and just wait to get bunkered out to try to take as much time off. The minor will come off, so there's still going to be about a minute 20. Yeah, 1:22 left on that major penalty. So Dynasty gets a body back. They'll start with 4. But Houston Heat now creeping closer, 1-2. The score 16:53 to go.
1:22 left on the penalty.
And Tyler Harmon is just pacing in the box right now.
Staring down that ref like, I'm looking at you, look at him.
He is. Tyler, look at Tyler is just Tyler is just pacing, staring at the ref.
I would just stay away from the ref if I were Tyler Harmon.
Well, let's check in with Lauren Kelly. She's down with Kyle Spica from San Diego Dynasty.
Hey guys, I am in Dynasty's pit with Kyle Spica. Kyle, you guys took an early lead. You were up 2 points, but you got some penalties there and had to start that last point 2 bodies down. Have you discussed a strategy when you're down a significant amount of bodies like that, what the best strategy is to try to hold them off?
You know, it was a major and a minor, so, you know, if we lose that one, the minor's coming off. But the best thing in that situation is trying to burn off that big major. With 2 bodies in the box, you're going to try to build up definitely that point, but run a lot off that, not a lot off that major. So we're just trying to get out to some safe spots. The snake side's big, and also the middle. You know, it's hard to shoot the middle, so it's really tricky. You got to find those good spots and look in the middle while also watching those outside guys, making sure they don't take advantage of you. So.
All right, thanks, Kyle. This is a super intense game. It's really intense here on the sidelines. We'll see if Heat can tie it up.
You can hear Yosh Rao behind that interview screaming at his boys, trying to get them motivated for this incredibly important game. You know, Dynasty, again, never found themselves in this position. This is uncharted territory for them in those relegation matches, and have really looked amazing in the beginning of this game, but it's been that penalty, and that's what happens with penalties. Penalties will kill you. So Houston Heat with an opportunity still here with 1 minute and 22 seconds left on that Tyler Harmon major. So Dynasty with 4. Houston Heat at full strength. Houston Heat on your right and Dynasty on your left. Off the break out here, Dynasty with 3 guns up, and they risk one out just a little bit as Oliver Lang tries to get out on the D side, but I think Oliver might have got taken out, and he did. So now it's 5 bodies alive for Houston Heat, and they are going to be running down the field here in short order. Yeah, because Dynasty's stuck in them. They're going to have to win some really clutch gunfights right here to try to even this body count up. Houston Heat needs to be careful. Don't want to go sloppy into the guns of Dynasty, and they lose number 14, Greg Sewers.
And Ryan Moorhead trying to get too aggressive over there on the Dorito side.
So that evens up the body count here. So this is what Dynasty wanted to happen. They wanted Houston Heat to push sloppy down the field. Oh, but Brandon Short gets shot out of his spot. And it's tough, though. I mean, Dynasty, they were even on the body count, but they were not as wide. Oh, and Tim Montressor gets his head peeled off. I think that was Yosh Rao. Tim tried to wrap around and get a shot on Yosh Rao, and Yosh Rao refusing to give an inch and just puts one right in on the face of Tim Montressor. So now it's 2-on-2, and that is probably going to let Tyler Harmon get out of the box. 15 seconds left on that penalty, so if Dynasty could win this point here, that would be a huge boost to them, fighting through the penalty and maintaining their lead. What an amazing job by Yosh Rao and Brandon Short here. 2 kills for Brandon Short, and then now Tyler Harmon was able to get out. So 1 body advantage right now for San Diego Dynasty. Good job by Dynasty to fight through that major penalty.
Tyler Harmon moving to the snake corner, keep Chad George honest over here. So amazing that they could fight through that. Houston Heat playing super sloppy.
Yeah. I mean, just unnecessary activity.
Well,
yeah, just trying to take too big of bites.
Just,
you know, that's how you lose games on this field. You know, we've watched it time and time again. You got to go smart, take little bumps. You know, there's big gaps, and players are in spots just to sit there and just shoot lanes. And there's Alex Frazier on your screen right there. Now in the snake. Looking at Chad George.
So now Tyler Harmon is in the snake. Can he redeem himself? Chad George is also in the snake, Todd, like you're just saying. And then they have Sam Monville for Houston Heat in D2. So Heat does have the field spread, but they only have 2 bodies, looking at 3 for Dynasty.
And, yeah, Yosh Rao's over there on the Dorito side, locking down Chad George over here in Snake 3, shooting across the field. Chad George backs up, looks to get some kills. Sam Monville feeling the pressure from Tyler Harmon and Alex Frazier.
Well, this is going to slow down. This is going to be a long point. So much is at stake here. Oh, looked like Chad George for a second. Might have almost got a shot, but so 2 players over here, snake side for Dynasty. This is where the bulk of their strength is, and they don't have anyone on the D side. And the only one right now, Alex Frazier, is the one keeping Sam Monville from pushing down the field with that cross-field shot. You can see, look at Frazier is looking on that D side. He's trying to keep Monville honest over there. Chad George by himself over here, snake side, looking at 2 bodies in front of him. But both those guns on the snake side are looking D side. It's Yosh Rao who's trying to keep Chad George from pushing forward.
There you hear the gun of Chad George.
Hey, and Todd, this is right now, if you guys are watching home, you want to get better at paintball, look at this big game we're watching right now. Huge moment in the entire, for the sport, these huge teams. So this is why you run situational drills. Yep. This is why when you're at practice, you put guys in positions like this, put a little bit of time on the board and see what they can do.
And right now with the guns looking at Chad George, Sam Monville has an opportunity to move down that Dorito side. Well, he did about 3 seconds ago. Tyler Harmon switched on him, but he needs to find a way to get down that Dorito side if he can.
Yeah.
Get those guns to turn off Chad George so he can
try
to pick off some of these guys.
It's definitely a long shot across the field for Tyler Harmon. I think if anybody's going to have an opportunity here, it's going to be Sam Monville to put in Tyler Harmon and then take that run. Because Yosh Rao focused solely on Chad George, and Alex Frazier kind of with his head down, just staying alive, protecting himself. Gonna force Chad George to come get him.
Right, and doing that, Sam has to find a way. If he can't get to the 50 Dorito, he needs to go to Dorito 3. Just get in there and use that as a launching bunker to get to that next Dorito 50. Because like you said, Yoshi just posted up on Chad. He's not gonna do any turning away from him at all.
There's Alex Frazier on your screen.
Time ticking off, 11 minutes and 31 seconds to go. The stage is set here for one of these teams to stay in the Champs Division, one to go down to the Challengers Division. But Houston Heat down a body right now. Chad George talking it up with San Monville. Both of these players incredibly experienced, won many tournaments before. And the two original Houston Heat players. Chad George has actually played for Dynasty.
You know, it's funny, quick little story here. Had Angel Fregosa come down to practice, you know, like I mentioned on Friday, to come to Vicious practice, and Houston Heat was playing on the other side of the field, and he looks over and he's like, what are the All-Americans doing here? And I was like, oh, there goes Sam Monville into the 50 Dorito. Alex Frazier and Tyler Harmon now gun up on him. Sam Monville, Alex Frazier going to back all the way up to the back of the snake now.
And that's perfect for Chad George, because now he can move up now, and he does move up. So let's see if we can make some with this.
Chad George now in the back of the 50 snake. Has a better angle on Yosh Rao. And now he's going to stand up, look to get the creep in. Alex Frazier posted across the field on the 50 Dorito.
I think Alex Frazier's at
takes out Tyler Harmon.
So Tyler Harmon dropping the ball over here. Frazier's going to dig back, and now it's better position to defend for Yosh Rao. So now it's evened up, but much better field position for Houston Heat.
Oh, he takes out Yosh Rao, Sam Monville, so 2-on-1 Houston Heat.
So now it's just squandering a 3-on-2 here. San Diego Dynasty now looking at a 1-on-2 for them. And Houston Heat, with 2 bodies alive, has the advantage here. So can Chad George and Sam Monville finish off Alex Frazier? Or is Alex Frazier going to pull off some heroic move? And he tries to run down. You got to be careful not to get a penalty here at this point, and that's going to be a major penalty on Alex Frazier.
So that point should end right there with no bodies left to pull. Yep. They're not even going to have to hang it. If you're the last body and you get a major, clock stops right there and the other team gets a point.
So Dynasty just shooting themselves in the foot here with these penalties. You know, and as far as the play is concerned, the actual paintball that's happening for them, they're doing well. But just a few tiny little mistakes here. Well, I wouldn't say the penalties are little mistakes, but at the same time, when you're looking at it back and forth as far as just take the penalties away and how these guys are playing, very evenly matched teams here. So you're going to the overall rating leaders: Jason Edwards, Marcelo Margot, Rainey Stanzik, Brian Smith, and Konstantin Ferov. None of those guys are strangers to high-level competition. 27 kills for Jason Edwards, 34 for Marcelo Margot. We will not see the Ironman, but Art Chaos and Damage still in the hunt here. Damage has to get past Impact in order to move on to the finals, and Art Chaos has to defeat Red Legion. Those games going to be going down around 11:20 Pacific time here after we get through the Challengers semifinal matchups, which are coming up next after this Champions Relegation match. So now it's all tied up at 2. 9 minutes and 22 seconds left here in this match.
Wow, and here's Tim Montressor getting shot in the face out of that side of the A. But Chad George and Sam Monville, huge game by Sam Monville, picking and choosing his timing and his kills. As we check out all these replays, Alex Frazier getting shot and continuing to play, getting a major for that instance right there. And I mean, Dynasty really giving 2 gifts to Houston Heat with those majors. I mean, Houston Heat, I mean, just kind of playing sloppy right now, but you know, Dynasty getting 2 majors.
And they found their way to be tied 2-2, like you said.
Yeah, so I mean, it's 2-2. Still anyone's game. Got 9:22 left to go. So we'll be right back after this timeout.
This is back to the old school roots where I came from back in the day.
I'm getting deja vu. It's 1996 all over again.
The fields are big, the fields are thick, so a lot of intangibles happen.
One of the funnest ways to play paintball.
It's like an X-ball match in the woods.
If you're not out here playing and you're not out here competing in the woods, you're missing out.
Hey guys, I'm here with Ronnie Dizon in the Heat pit. Now it is tied 2-2. Dynasty just got another penalty. We'll be starting with a body down. But how are you feeling watching from the sidelines? I know I'm slightly freaking out here.
It's really nerve-wracking. You know, I got a lot of butterflies in my stomach. We've been in this situation before, and you know, we don't want to go down. We just gotta, you know, knuckle up and play good paintball.
All right, we'll see if they can do that and take the lead here. Back to you guys.
Yeah, knuckle up, man. This is a straight bloody knuckles game here as it's tied up 2-2 with a lot at stake. 9 minutes and 22 seconds to go, about 15 seconds before the start of this next point. Both teams, though, not at full strength. There's a full 2-minute major penalty now on Dynasty as Alex Frazier is stuck in the box. So here off the break, trying to get out. Let's see if Dynasty can even up the body count here. Not able to do it. 5 bodies alive for Houston Heat, and here comes Woodley pushing up in the center for Houston Heat.
5 live for Houston Heat, but Dynasty keeps 4 alive, so that's what you want to do and try to grind that penalty down. They're doing it so far. So
Yosh Rao trying to lock off the snake side. Chad George, Sam Monville over here for Houston Heat. Woodley up in the middle in that second Dorito tower. trying to get a shot in on Blake Yarber, who's in that little keg, trying to lock off the Dorito side. Brandon Short over here with Glenn Takamoto on the snake side. Both doubled up in that can. 1 minute left to go on that penalty tied ball game. Houston Heat unable to get any kills on the break, but getting some good field position as John Woodley now comes up into the A and is looking to get a shot underneath. We've seen players get eliminations from that spot, and it looks like he does get Glenn Takamoto.
Wow, so nice job by John Woodley to get creative. Had to lay all the way down, put his gun on the ground to get that shot on Glenn Takamoto, but that is a huge kill because that's going to help speed things up, though. Just 36 seconds left on that major penalty, so can the 3 bodies left alive, Yosh Rao, Blake Yarber, and Brandon Short, hold off the attack. They're the 5 players for Houston Heat: Chad George, Sam Monville, Ryan Moorhead, Greg Sewers, and John Woodley. So John Woodley creating a window of opportunity for himself. Now past the 50-yard line, John Woodley onto Dynasty's side of the field.
And he puts himself in a good position if they come out of the box and they go to that little God bunker on the snake side. He's in a great position to rope that guy.
And here comes Woodley, and he's going to try to trade out with Yosh Rao, and he doesn't even get shot. Still alive. Woodley switches hands, and it looks like he gets a shot on Brandon Short too. Brandon Short begging for a penalty, and fells that he shot Woodley first. Referee's going to run in over and check him out. No, Brandon Short's dead, but Alex Frazier gets out alive. And then Blake Yarber gets out wide off that. So still 2 bodies left alive for Dynasty, and they fought through the penalty, but they're looking at 4 Houston Heat players. Still tied up at 2 apiece. 7:04 to go here.
Just Alex Frazier and Blake Yarber now for Dynasty.
Chad George in the snake 50, so trying to pinch Alex Frazier in the back here. So if for Greg Sewers to start moving down, I would expect him to go down the middle of the field here shortly.
Yeah. So now moving a little bit more cautiously up the field, this Houston Heat playing a little bit smarter now. Brandon Short was lucky not to get a penalty there. Once Woodley traded out with him, Woodley made a really great move down the middle. Now Alex Frazier getting shot out of that snake side temple. And here comes the rest of Houston Heat. As now they're going to go up 3-2.
So the story of this game so far has been the penalties for San Diego Dynasty, and just not giving themselves the best opportunity, constantly fighting on their heels. And they looked so good in the beginning of this game, setting the tempo, coming out and scoring some points. But then since then, it's been all Houston Heat because San Diego Dynasty just can't stay out of that box. And also when it gets close, Houston Heat is starting to win those games, man. You know, I mean, the fact that they, that Houston Heat was able to win that 3-on-2, where Dynasty had 3, they had 2. But Tyler Harmon died in that gunfight. So Dynasty is going to have to pick it up. Hopefully, you guys, let's see who's the kill count leaders for these teams here. Woodley's getting a couple kills. Hopefully you got Woodley on your team. You guys are fighting for a Raza custom jersey prize package.
Call me, I'll lace you up.
Yeah, if you need custom jerseys. And it's interesting, there's the fantasy leaders right there. So far, the three of them, Konstantin Fedorov, Alexander Biernikov, and Sergei Sonaiskov. Also Matt Sossman and Marcelo Margot. And, those are some of the highest ranked players. Sergei, Matt Sossman, and Marcelo Margot were all some of the highest ranked, 3 of the highest ranked players heading into this event. So no surprise that they are still up on that list.
That's my man right there, Matt Sossman. Getting 31 kills, 5,100.
He was doing work yesterday.
Matt Sossman done work for us out there, vicious.
Yeah, he's such a
He had
good
a heck of a
gunfighter.
tournament, man.
Yeah, he really did. And then Marcelo Margot, we always see him up there, whether it's fantasy or overall rating or kill count leaders, and Marcelo's always up there. And then the 3 Russians, they're going to be playing later on in the semifinals in the Champs Division against Moscow Red Legion in a grudge match. Art Chaos and Moscow Red Legion, the battle for Mother Russia, going down here shortly, so stick around for that. So off the break here, both teams now at full strength. Dynasty, 5 on the field.
Running ref coming to check Chad George. Clean. And, oh boy, red flag.
So now, Major, see the crowd go crazy off that, so major penalty now for Chad George as San Monville.
And here goes a penalty on Dynasty.
For the same exact thing. Oh, man.
It's a major or minor?
Well, they called a minor on Dynasty and a major on Chad George. The same exact spot. coming out to that snake side temple. So both players lose 2 bodies on the penalty. And this is going to make things real interesting right now.
Yeah.
3-2 game about to approach the 5-minute mark. Both teams have a player in the box.
And there's who's left alive for the 2 teams on your screen. Dynasty actually only has 3 players alive, just Oliver Lang, Glenn Takamoto, and Tyler Harmon on the field from the center on over to the D side. As Kyle Spica should have a red X on his face right there for getting him a penalty here. But 10 seconds, Brandon Short's gonna come out of that box.
Wow. Brandon Short getting ready to get back in this game.
So there he goes. And Oliver's moving to the right side of the A. Does he make it out? Takes it out, back center, doubles it up.
Uh-oh, running ref coming in to check it, Oliver Lang. He might have caught one. No, he's clean. Oh, and another body coming off right now for Houston Heat. It's Greg Sewers. But they are starting to whittle down that major penalty they got because Dynasty got a penalty, but Dynasty back here now with 4. So looking pretty good here, just 2 players. So it's 4 on 2, though in 28 seconds, Chad George is gonna come out of the penalty box.
And nobody on Dynasty wants to make any mistakes here too early here. Got 4:20 left. 15 seconds left in this penalty, so try to see if they can get Sam Monville trying to get out of the box.
Well, the thing though is that Houston Heat is still winning this game. So, you know, with only 4 minutes left to go, Dynasty's gonna have a 1-body advantage. Maybe they'll keep the 2, but can they shoot? It's actually Sam Monville running out of the box. And but they shoot Woodley, and they shoot, yeah, that's gonna do it. So here comes San Diego Dynasty. San Diego Dynasty is gonna tie this game up now. Just making extra sure though, slowly but surely, making sure they count all the bodies, make sure nobody's left alive here in this chaotic point. So nice work by San Diego Dynasty here. 4 bodies alive for them at the end of this one. Oliver Lang is checking himself out. He's gonna hand the flag over to Brandon Short, who's gonna hang it. So referee's gonna check out Brandon Short there. Make sure he's clean. If you hang with the hit, it's a minor penalty, no point, and then you have to play down a body the next one. But he's good. See the thumbs up from the ref. So the score is now tied at 3 apiece. It could not get any more of a nail biter here than what we're watching go down right now. What a crazy game. Yeah, man, you never know what's gonna happen in pro paintball world. That's for sure.
Spin the wheel. Wow. Well, good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. You know, that first game, pretty good game right here. VCK 187 securing their spot for World Cup. And VCK, after a cup of coffee in the big time here in Riverside, going to be going back down to the Challengers division for World Cup, but definitely a good experience for them.
And look for them to
in the games that they played.
Again.
And yeah, I would fully expect them to, you know, create another opportunity for themselves to get back here into the Champions division. There you see Ryan Greenspan suited up. Yeah, it's probably like, in case of emergency, break glass and get Ryan Greenspan in there. But I mean, with that injured knee, you know, I mean,
he's got to be just stewing over there. Because Ryan's a guy that's always used to being in the mix, and rightfully so. He's one of their best guys. He's one of the best guys just plain and simple in the game. So he has just got to be fuming over there, watching all these penalties, watching this incredibly close game over here, and knowing there's nothing he can do about it other than to help his guys when they come get back into the pits with some information that his incredibly experienced paintball mind has seen. But both of these teams at full strength again to fight it out here to see who's going to win this match. This could be the last point. Very well could be the last point we see in this relegation match to decide the fate.
Overtime. We're going to overtime
so?
here. One-on-ones.
And one-on-one shootouts. How crazy would that be? And so off the break, who's going to drop a body? And it looks like another body coming off for San Diego Dynasty. Two. That's
2 drop.
That's a big, huge advantage for Houston Heat.
Three. There goes Alex Frazier.
Garber's calling that Alex Frazier. Get off.
I'd blow the horn. I would blow the horn right now. 2 on 5. Yeah. So they blow the horn and concede what could be the winning point to Houston Heat, but with 2 bodies left alive against 5, what most likely would have happened was that Houston Heat would just slowly but surely make their way down the field and then try to win that point with not enough time for Dynasty to get back in this match. So Dynasty's going to throw the talent on that one, and then they're going to reset so that they can come back here at full strength. And what a disastrous break there for Dynasty, as they lost 3 bodies pretty much right away. So we're going to be right back after this, man. Who's going to win this crucial matchup here in the relegation game? We're going to be back. Stick around. So here we go. The stage is set. 4-3 is the score. 3 minutes and 6 seconds remain. Houston Heat is only 3 minutes away from maintaining their spot in the Champions Division. Can Dynasty dig deep here to tie this game up? Maybe potentially take it to overtime. Do any bodies drop for Houston Heat off the break? No. 5 players alive for them. But Dynasty also 5 strong here. So that's going to slow things down. And that might let Houston Heat be able to whittle this time down and win this game. So is Dynasty going to be able to make their way up the field? Houston Heat, they do not need to push forward. They are winning this game.
Yeah, Houston Heat in good positions in that both towers, locking off the snake side, trying to keep Kyle Spica from getting out here. You got Tyler Harmon over on the Dorito side. He's going to want to try and get wide and start attacking. And I mean, if you get all your bodies alive, you just have to work together in order to make moves. And Houston Heat, the first one to strike, gets out wide over there on the Dorito side. Moorhead getting into Dorito 1, creating that spacing to help lock off this field. Gonna be tough. 2 minutes left to go.
And Dynasty needs to start pushing forward. They're running out of time here. They know it. Blake Yarber making his move. I'm sorry, Tyler Harmon making his move. Starting on move down. The D side gets to D1. But no bodies have dropped yet for Houston Heat. Locked in their gunfights, trying to preserve their lead. Oliver Lane goes over to back up Tyler Harmon.
Like we talked about this yesterday, you start getting down, you got to start positioning your team to be to the 50s with 1 minute left, which Oliver just tries in and gets hit.
But Oliver gets hit, trying to get up there, so no last minute heroics will be left for Oliver Lang. He walks off, and that is, it's tough now because now Dynasty only has 4 bodies trying to push into 5 guns, and Houston Heat has done a perfect job here in this point of just controlling those lanes. I haven't seen a gun drop down yet for Houston Heat.
There goes Brandon Short. Kyle Spica over here still for San Diego Dynasty. He's going to come into the 50 snake. 1 body drops for Houston Heat.
He's their only hope right now is Alex Frazier in this 50 snake. Sorry, Kyle Spica. Kyle Spica in this snake is the only hope for San Diego Dynasty as they've lost a bunch of bodies. 2 bodies drop for them.
Chad George going to spread it out wide for Houston Heat, getting to the snake side corner. 36 seconds left to go here.
Take out John Woodley's walking off.
And here it comes, 32 seconds to go. Kyle Spica is in the 50-yard line, just got a kill. Looking at 3 bodies, they're hunkered down in their spot. Don't know if they're gonna have enough time. Kyle Spica comes around and tries to get a shot cross field, and he's able to do it on Ryan Moorhead, I think so. Kyle Spica hunting, trying to get the last guy. Don't know if they're gonna have enough time. Oh, I think they do. Chad George is still alive, looking at the flag. 2 bodies left. And here comes Kyle Spica, launches, takes out Chad George, and I think Yosh Rao is going to have enough time to hang the flag, to tie it up, to take us to overtime. Oh my God, San Diego Dynasty.
Wow.
Getting the chills up here. Wow. Yosh Rao and Kyle Spica stepping up to save the day for San Diego Dynasty to tie it up at 4 with just 2 seconds. So we will burn that time off and we will go to an overtime point. Both teams will be at full strength for this overtime point, but man, it was not looking good for Dynasty early as they lost 2 bodies over there on the D side, but holy Kyle Spica and Yosh Rao
just got it done.
Wow, Todd, and Rab, what an amazing point.
I don't really know why Ryan Moorhead was running down the field to try to do that move, but hey, we're up here, he's down there. I still don't get it. Why all he used to do is just sit back there in that corner and just gun up.
Yeah. And we've seen it time and time again. Woodley, all he had to do was sit in that tower and look across and keep Kyle Spica from going anywhere. Kyle Spica able to dip into that snake, come straight into the 50, start getting kills, and help Dynasty get back in this game and tie it up. So 3 minutes are going to go on the clock, and we're playing overtime here for relegation.
We expected this. These two guys do not want to go. These two teams do not want to go down.
No, it would be a tragedy for either one of these teams to go down to the Challengers Division, especially for Houston Heat, because they've already been down there once this year, and also Dynasty's never been down there before. So let's check out this replay here. Close at that point, man. Amazing performance by Kyle Spica and Yosh Rao to save the day for San Diego Dynasty. And Todd, there was Woodley.
Yeah, Woodley should have been. He had 2 bodies looking towards the Dorito side. He should have just been locked off on the snake side. Instead, he looks down the Dorito side and gets shot in the face. And here comes Yosh Rao with 6 seconds on the clock, grabs the flag, makes sure that Chad George is dead, and he comes running in and hangs the flag with just 2 seconds left to able to send this game to overtime.
Wow. And so how the overtime period works, 3 minutes go on the clock. If no winner can be established in this overtime period, in that 3-minute period, then we will go to a one-on-one shootouts. And that is, oh my God, I can't wait to see this overtime point here. So what team's gonna get relegated and what team's gonna stay in? We'll find out here after a short commercial break. Stick around. We are back here into this overtime period between Houston Heat and San Diego Dynasty here at the 2014 PSP West Coast Open. So is it going to be Houston Heat and their supercharged lineup, or is it going to be the legend San Diego Dynasty? Just a couple seconds before the start of this point, and look for the break. Fast points always come down to the break, so if both these teams can make it out alive, and I don't think that, Tyler Harmon struggling over there on the D side, getting shot off the break, and I think that looks like Heat might have lost another player too. So Ryan Moorhead comes off. Dynasty, you can see every one of them just begging to get a penalty over there from the pits. They don't get it, so it's 4-on-4 right now, very even as far as field position is concerned.
Oh, looks like Kyle Spica just got shot in the loader. He's going to come walking off, so just 3 bodies left
and in
for
an overtime period, man, if you know that it's evened up, you got to be careful on those gunfights. And here we go, time ticking off. Still, though, lots of time left. And Dynasty, though, stuck in the pocket. It's going to be really tough for them if Houston Heat gets out wide, and they are definitely in a good position to do it. They have Woodley up there locking down the D side. You're looking at Heat's lineup right now, and they have Chad George over here, snake side. So if Chad George gets into the snake, it's going to make life really hard for the players of San Diego Dynasty. So Dynasty waiting for somebody to drop a lane so they can get out wide and slow this point down and hoping to take it to one-on-ones.
And Chad George, he needs to find a way to put some paint in that back center and find a way to get that snake, and just doesn't seem interested so far.
Yeah, there's Oliver Lang right now, keeping the gun really tight and just pounding that zone.
So let's see if Woodley can get this same shot that he did on Glenn Takamoto down underneath that A again. He's looking for it up there in the center. And then we're going to pull back here the camera, and you can check out. There's the lineup for Dynasty. 3 bodies, but stuck in. That is a tough spot. Glenn Takamoto and Brandon Short, not big dudes, but I'll tell you what, that is a tough spot to double up when the field starts to spread out wide. Minute 27 seconds left. Tension mounts here as these teams are about to find out who's going to win it. Oh, Oliver Lang wiling out. Got to be careful. Somehow he's able to make it out wide through guns. Now he's in a really tight spot, though. And he's just got to be, I mean, it's good that he spread the field, but he's got to be careful there. That is a really small bunker that Oliver Lang's in.
And it's real small. When Greg Stewart's moving that Dorito too, he needs to get to the 50 Dorito. We're at 1 minute now. They need to be further down the field. And Chad George needs to find a way to get down the snake.
Yeah, Brandon Short and Oliver Lang both pounding him, and this is how he's going to do it. Monville fills out to the corner behind Chad George. He's going to be able to wrap around now and really put the pressure on Brandon Short. 45 seconds left to go here. 4-on-3. Houston Heat up on San Diego Dynasty in this overtime. Here comes John Woodley on the Dynasty side of the field. Oliver Lang tries to make a move, and he gets shot. Just 2 bodies left alive. Here comes Woodley down the middle of the field. He's going to bunker out Brandon Short. Glenn Takamoto. Oh, Glenn Takamoto gets shot, but Brandon Short takes out Woodley. 26 seconds left to go. Brandon Short is still alive. He makes a move out, but he gets picked off going towards the Dorito side. So Houston Heat, with 20 seconds left, grabs the flag, runs it in. Got to make sure you still have 15 seconds left. Greg Seaver's getting a check, and he is going to hang it and relegate San Diego Dynasty for the first time ever. Dynasty goes 0-5 at a major event and gets relegated.
Who would have ever thought that coming in?
That's how hard it is out here. It's so difficult here. You see the hugs. They're going to go around for his Houston Heat. Breathes a gigantic sigh of relief as they maintain their spot in the Champions Division. And it is going to be a long wait before we see San Diego Dynasty back in the Champions Division. And they have to fight their way out of the Challengers Division now. But you know what, man? They put themselves in this position. They lost every single game here at this event. That's never happened before. Dynasties have never, ever, ever gone to an event. And this is a big slump for them now, because now going all the way back to the Chicago Open, that puts them at, let's see, how many losses is that in a row?
Straight total losses in a row should be 7.
Yeah, 7 straight losses in a row here for Dynasty. So, you know, which is crazy because they won 10 in a row and they won the second event, so they look so good. You know, we saw this last year a little bit. Dynasty was really good in the beginning of the year, and then they faded off a little bit. And you know, and they were jawing at me in the offseason like, oh, faded off towards the end of the year, we still won the title. I'm like, hey, man, I'm just calling it like I see it. You know, I'm not putting you guys on blast. All I'm saying is I'm just looking at what's happening.
And they faded off again.
And so, yeah, and this time it was a disaster strikes here for San Diego Dynasty. I was really hoping to see some one-on-ones, but the paintball gods did not allow it. But, you know, Houston Heat, you know, the penalties definitely played a factor, but it all came down to that final match. You always, you know, that's the cool thing about the sport. If you fight it, it's even, so it's basically 0-0 heading in that final point.
There was penalties on both sides.
Exactly, but Houston Heat just flat out outplayed Dynasty in that last point. They just shot better lanes, and they were able to, you know, not let anybody get out wide, and they just outplayed them. They outplayed Dynasties just straight up in that last point. So congratulations to Houston Heat as they maintain their Champions Division spot. You know, they took second at the last event, so we will see Houston Heat in the big boy division for World Cup. And then, hey, but don't go anywhere, man. We still have some really big games. It's nothing but big games. It's big game after big game after big game today here on Sunday. And that's the whole reason you play paintball, other than to have a good time, is to try to one day be in the position the teams find themselves here on Sunday, trying to prove themselves. Next up, Revo, undefeated, is going to be taking on Infamous. So Infamous stuck in the Challengers Division. They have to defeat undefeated Revo in order to make it on. And then after that, big game Shock and X Factor, one of those teams will be staying in the Challengers Division. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, I am here with Sam Monville. Congratulations. Man, that must have been the most intense match you've played all season long, maybe ever.
Probably ever.
How are you feeling going out onto that field every point and overtime and just like feeling that pressure?
Really just thinking about my job. I mean, I know I have 4 guys next to me that are thinking they just need to do their job too, and as long as we played together, like obviously we didn't before, you know, we came together for that last match and, you know, hopefully we held it out.
But be real with me, like how terrified were you? That was so huge.
I've played in 4 World Cup finals, and that was the scariest game I've probably ever played in. To not be able to play for the World Cup, the biggest, you know, event of our careers, You know, that's huge for us. You know, it's not what we want. Almost embarrassing that not be there.
Absolutely. I can't even imagine how Dynasty is feeling right now, bumping down to the Challengers for World Cup. I mean, is there any kind of advice or anything you can say to them since you guys have been in kind of a similar situation?
I mean, there's really no words for it. You know, we had to go down there. You know, I didn't like thinking about paintball. I hated it. I did not acknowledge that paintball existed until we were out of the Challengers. Just wouldn't think about it, talk about it, just do my job until we were back to where we needed to be.
All right, well, congratulations on that win. Heat will be staying in the champion bracket for World Cup. A really big win for them. Dynasty will be bumping down. Next up is going to be Infamous versus Revo. Revo is undefeated. Infamous went 3-1 and lost to Aftershock yesterday, so we'll see who's going to be bumping up to the champion bracket for World Cup. Stay tuned.
So yeah, we were watching all the highlights there from that last game, and there was a lot of them, as that was a tense game. So San Diego Dynasty bumping down to the Challengers division. But next up, we have Baltimore Revo going to be taking on Los Angeles Infamous in a huge match. Infamous was not able to fight out of the Challengers division at the last event, and they have another opportunity, created an opportunity to move up again, and they won the first event, so we know that it's there somewhere in their minds and in their bodies, but you have to perform out here. You know, again, it's not about the names on the backs, it's about who wants it the most out here at these events. So looking forward to seeing this next game, and then Aftershock and X Factor after that. So we're gonna be right back with those matchups. Stick around.